to Baby's Grey, where we talk about issues that concern the state, void of politics, fear, or favor. The Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana says government should focus on retaining frontline port officials rather than rushing to deploy artificial intelligence at the country's port. It argues that the existing IQMS platforms already has the tools needed to curb revenue leakages. This follows Finance Minister's announcement that AI will be introduced to minimize human interference and address shortfalls in customs revenue. In an interview, the executive secretary of the association said the priority should be capacity building, not technology. He argued that strengthening human expertise should deliver better results than introducing a parallel AI system. According to him, the performance of IQMS in recent years proves the system is not the problem. He believes the focus must be on motivating ethical officers and remove the corrupt ones. He maintained that Ghana already has the technology, the men and women to improve port revenue if the human systems are properly strengthened. Now, I want to draw our attention to something. The world in which we find ourselves of late is a technological one. We are no longer living in those days where um, you take so long to do certain things or human effort in doing a lot of things. Now, because of technology, you don't even struggle to get certain things. First, there was nothing like you tracking a vehicle or maybe you booking a vehicle on your phone. You have to wait for hours before you get a vehicle. Now, with your phone, with Uber, you can be at your comfort zone. You can be in any part of Accra and still order an Uber on your phone. You'll be there and then the vehicle will arrive. The only thing you have to do is to pay. Those times, there were nothing like delivery guys. There were no company involved in this delivery. But now we have them. With your phone, you can just order something. You'll be at your comfort zone and then it's being delivered. So it should tell you that the world is evolving. And I'm sure a time will come, we will have a lot of companies. And these companies are going to work without human force. And it's going to use technology. I think somewhere last year we saw some restaurants, not in Ghana per se, but I saw a restaurant in one of the Western countries where the waiter and the waitress were robots. They were serving customers at the restaurant, and they were working like humans. They work faster. The only thing you need to do is maybe and you they communicate. In fact, they do things like humans. And we also saw instances where it was up that as a woman, if you don't want to give birth and then you want to, you want to give birth, but you don't want to give birth on your own. There are ways or there are contracts you need to sign, and then it's being given to the robot. The robot will carry your child, give birth to it, and then you go for your baby. So what I'm trying to say is that technology is taking up the world. So if you don't upgrade yourself, if you don't get tips and things that has to do with technology, it's not only about you going to school to learn about how to come up with your own app, but even with your phone, you can get some tips. So now, when the 2026 budget was being read, the finance minister announced that there will be an AI system that will be established at the port, so that when you get to port, some struggles maybe for documentation, signing, payments, and other stuffs, which will take like more time when it has to do with human hands. Now it will be AI. They are going to develop a system where you don't have to go through all that stress. Immediately you're exporting something and it gets to the port, you will just have to maybe key in your personal PIN and give some personal information about yourself, where the vehicle or whatever you are exporting, the country is coming from, you the recipient, and then where you are going to take that to, maybe some personal information. and then you receive your goods, and then you are good to go. And now it has become a problem because the Importers and Exporters Association are saying that if government, you are bringing this on board, then it means 90% of people are also going to lose their jobs, because this is what people do for a living. So if you are saying that you are going to bring an end to that and develop an AI system, why not give these people training? You give them training and then they become useful. Because when you're bringing the system, mind you, AI, no matter what you do, AI is very intelligent. Although sometimes they don't get the facts right. But AI, I would say, of late is being used by some companies, or 99% of companies are using AI. And AI is in various forms. They have it in various types. And so they are calling on the government, or appealing to the government, that if you want to bring an end to this, why not you train these people? Because the government is also saying that the revenue they are supposed to get, or we are supposed to get as a country, we are not getting it. Because even the people we are employing into that particular area are not working as they are supposed to, or they are not being diligent to the government. So in a way, it's being marred by corruption. So to prevent leakages of revenue, we will just push away those people and then bring an app where everything will be monitored. An app where he can be, or the finance minister or the government can be in his office and then knows that, oh, today maybe this number of people were at the port, this number of vehicles were being imported or exported out of the country. And then you got to know all this. Don't forget that the country also gained a lot of money from our port, because day in, day out, we import. Day in, day out, we export things out of the country. And so the port is one of the busiest institutions, I'll put it that way, because it's always busy. And don't forget, now that we are in the festive season, people have already they're importing stuffs ready to take their stuffs from the port. People are also exporting things out of the country. So it wouldn't really make sense if we see the port to be one of the institutions that generates a lot of revenue for the country and still not see anything from it. The only thing I want us to understand is technology is taking up the world. It is good you advance yourself and get tips in technology so you don't find yourself wanting. Because I came across an article yesterday that stated that 2 or 3 years to come, it will be very difficult to get certain jobs in Ghana, not even in Ghana, across the world, because AI is taking over. And don't forget that before that 3 years even come, there will even be more apps that will be even far ahead of AI. Because as you sleep and wake up, we have people who do not sleep, people who are thinking to bring up apps that will be more than AI. And we have people who are also into that sector. So it wouldn't be bad if you have fair knowledge on that. So to the Exporters and Importers Association, it's a bad news though, but your appeal, whether it will be heard by the government or not, in a way, the system needs to be digitalized. And in a way, you also need to improve yourself, because it's very, very necessary. Thank you for making time with me on the screen.